Okay, can you guys hear me? Okay, there's a 10-second delay. Alright. Alright. Probably they're chicken nuggets. I can't argue with that. Pro- yeah, I'd say chicken nuggets. But can you hear me just fine? Hello, Drew. What's up? But can you guys hear me all right? Just want to make sure. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, keep the questions going. I hope you guys have been doing all right. All right. I hope you guys have been doing all right. What have you? Since there's only about two of you in here, so first, what have you guys been up to? You guys been playing anything? I recently finished Hogwarts Legacy. Gotta admit, final boss was a bit underwhelming. So I'm right now replaying through it on a higher difficulty. So what's the most anticipated movie coming out this year? Uh, Probably John Wick. I already got my tickets for that, but like when I compare the amount of movies, yeah, why don't I look that up right now? Because I think last year I only saw I, like last year I only saw like I only saw like three. I only saw three movies last year. So when I look at everything coming out this month, it's like you have John Wick coming out on the 24th. That I'm definitely gonna go see. April, I don't see anything in April. I don't know if I'm gonna see Guardians. I might not see that one. I probably won't. Um, won't won't see Fast 10. Um, let's see. Spider Man. Oh, Spider Man. Yes, Spider Man. Spider Verse 2. I'll definitely be seeing that in June 2nd. I'll check out Transformers on June 9th. I don't think I'm going to see The Flash. I'll probably skip that one. I'm not sure if I'll go see Indiana Jones on June 30th. I'll definitely see Mission Impossible on July 14th. Um, uh, I did. Wow, I'm looking at this list here. Apparently, there's an Equalizer 3. I didn't even know they were making a third one. And another Expendables. Wow, I didn't know they were making more of those. And another Saw movie. I thought we were done with that. This one's called Saw 10. Okay, Dune Part 2 supposedly comes out in November. I'll probably check that out. Um, what else? Apparently apparently Ghostbusters is also getting a sequel, and it comes out supposedly on December 20th. And I think that's about it. So, just right there, I'll definitely be seeing a lot more movies than yeah, I'll definitely be seeing a lot more movies this year than I did last year. But what movie are you most anticipated for? You've been playing Dead Space Remake, and I may have wasted most of my ammo on the regenerator before realizing you couldn't kill it, and it got frustrating. Yeah, no, 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 yeah. Can't you can. The whole point is that thing is kind of follows you around the area, and you're supposed to wait till like right before I'd say like the final chapter before you can actually kill that thing. Who's my favorite fictional character? Mine is between Batman and Sora from Kingdom Hearts. You're seeing John Wick next week? Yeah, me too. Favorite fictional character? Probably Arn. Arn from Final Fantasy X, I'd say. Like, oh yeah, when I think of fiction, I definitely lean more into the gaming side, and it's probably Arn from Final Fantasy X or Big Boss from Metal Gear Solid 3. It's one of those two. For me, my most anticipated movie this year is probably going to be Super Mario. Okay, all right, James, you have fun with that. I'm probably not going to go see that. I don't think I'll have as much fun with that film as other people will. Despite the fact that my brother is like more of the Sonic person and I was more of the Mario person, and I don't think I'll see this. What would you say is my favorite Devil May Cry soundtrack? Oh, ooh. If I'm being honest, I actually think the fifth one had the best soundtrack. Like, I would go with the fifth one. Like, I don't really think the soundtracks for Devil May Cry 1 or 2 really stand out much. It really isn't until 3, but I would go Devil May Cry 5, Devil May Cry 3, and the Devil May Cry 4. I think in those order, those games have the best soundtracks. You think Atreus deserves his own God of War spin-off game after his character departed? I don't think that's a spin-off. I think that's the next game. I don't. I mean, I don't think we need Kratos anymore. I mean, yeah, I think that I, here. You think Atreus deserves? But yeah. Guys, got anything else? Because we're all caught up. And let's see if I got anything. Have you guys beaten? Wait, are you guys getting the Resident Evil remake, or have you played the demo? Favorite alternate skin for Isaac in Dead Space remake? Oh crap! Hang on, let me pull up its name. someone asked me to do a ranking of that. I'm curious if people really want me to do that. But I would definitely say the suit I played the most. See, that's just weird. That's a weird suit. I think I picked the Venture. I think the Venture suit. I think between the standard suit that you use, the classic '08 suit, and the Venture, I think I used the Venture the second amount. Like I only used those 3 suits. Like most of the game I stuck to the just traditional suit. And then like for a good portion I did play with the '08 suit, and then a good portion I played with the Venture suit. But I think the Venture suit was definitely my favorite of the alternate suits. What about you? What are my thoughts on the remake trailers? I'm gonna be honest. I spoke to my brother about this, but I might skip the remake. I might skip the remake because I had a chance to play the demo, and I gotta admit I didn't really enjoy it that much, and I think it might just be my own personal bias because, like, even though the remake is already done and coming out, I always stood up for the thought that it really was a game that did not need to be remade. Like, the funny thing is that I played the demo and then I re-downloaded the original remastered Resident Evil 4, and I had so much more fun playing the remake. I'm playing the original. Playing that same section. I had like so much more fun. I was just like, there's something about this new version that just doesn't feel right. And I think I'm gonna skip it. Like the more I see of it, the less I want to play it. And I just and my fear is just like people might from what I experienced, it's like if I did play the remake of Resident Evil 4, it's the type of game that I would like struggle to get through. And then once I was done, I don't ever want to play it again. Like just like with Resident Evil 3, the remake of 3. Like I played that game once, and I didn't feel like I needed to ever play that game again. And I think the same thing is going to happen with the remake of 4. I mean, when I compare the remake to the original, like I have so much love for the original. Like as it stands right now, it is currently my 5th favorite video game of all time. I mean, not just horror game. It's like literally there's only 4 games that I've ever played in my life that I would pick over Resident Evil 4. So to try to compare the remake to a game of that high quality, the remake's fighting a losing battle. Like just from what I've seen, like if I did beat this game, I think I would give it like a 7. And so to give the remake a 7, and then the original is still like a 10. That's like a downgrade. What villain do I think I would like to see in Batman Part 2? Well, they hinted at the Joker, but I hope they don't do the Joker. I'm kind of jokered out. I think I'm jokered out. Like I'll be honest. When I saw that in theaters, I groaned when they revealed the Joker was here. I was like, oh my god, can we stop using the Joker? Not every single Batman needs to have a Joker in order to work. There is like a wide variety of very unique villains that Batman can take on that we haven't seen. Like, but if I could pick who I would like him to go up against, I would like to see him go up against someone like Hush. I think Hush would be a great villain for this Batman to go up against. Boda, no, believe it or not, I actually never got around to playing Forspoken. It just collected dust for weeks, and then I just decided just to return it, but I never played it. I was like, I heard too many bad things, and so I just kept pushing it back. It was like, we gotta get through Hogwarts Legacy, and then Dead Space, and then Persona 4, and then when we're done with all those games, we might go into Forspoken, but like, once I was done with Hogwarts Legacy, I was just like, you know, I don't need to play Forspoken, so I just sent it back. So I never got around to play that. Mine is the infected suit simply for the fact that when Isaac is in a cutscene, it takes off his helmet. he takes off his entire head instead of it just makes this funny. Oh, I didn't know he did that in the cutscenes. I didn't know he did that. That is definitely funny. Have I ever thought about recording any Let's Plays for my channel? I have done Let's Plays before. I've done tons of Let's Plays. I did Let's Plays. Like, wait, Let's Plays or like live stream Let's Plays? Like, have I thought about like doing like Let's Plays for like entire like new games? I've never thought. I don't think I've ever thought about doing that, but I've done plenty of live stream Let's Plays like that. What would I like? What would I like for Devil May Cry 6 to have? What would I like? Well, I'm pretty sure it's gonna focus on Nero. I don't think we need Dante and Virgil, but if anything, I'll tell you something else I want more than Devil May Cry 6. I would love a prequel for Devil May Cry and have it focus on Sparta. I think that's the one character that I think who needs like the most like content for. Like the character of Sparta is so important, yet we know so little about him. So I think a game focused around the legendary Dark Knight Sparta will be a much more interesting game than a Devil May Cry 6 game focused around Nero. But I do think a game about Nero exclusively is going to eventually come. There's no question of how successful Devil May Cry 5 was. There's no question we're going to get a 6th game. And my guess is it will focus on strictly Nero. We actually don't need Virgil and Dante anymore. I think we can retire those characters. I think they've been around a long. I don't really see where the story can go with those two. I think the Let's Play on games you've never played before would be fun. You know what? You know what? You know what? I'll be honest. If that would bring people in to start doing Let's Plays on games I've never, like older games I've never played, I don't mind doing that. Like, I'll tell you something that I'm going through right now. I'm having like a really hard time trying to come up with content. And like, I mean, and I think it goes even deeper than just not having enough time to play games. Because like I have like it's currently March, and so I have the rest of this month, and then April, and then I have to start getting ready to possibly move at the end of May, and by that time I'll be down to one job only, and so I'll have all that extra time back where I can play games. But it's just like we need to start uploading like quality content that people will actually like to see, because I'm telling you the growth of the channel has come to like an extreme halt. Like I had like these last 3 months in terms of growth have been like the worst it's been since like I started the channel. Like, and that's bad. I had like anticipated that if we'd stayed on the path of growth that I'd had like all last year, that I would get to 100K probably in like 2 more years. But like that has come to a screeching halt. Like I just like slightly am above 80,000, and like growth is like at like a snail crawl right now. So I'm like trying to come up with like what can we start doing to bring in more people. But yeah, if playing, doing Let's Plays for games I've never played before would bring people in, I don't mind doing that. Heck, I don't even mind playing older games that I never got a chance to play, or heck, even playing like older retro games that I really enjoy playing that not a lot of people know about, or I think should get more attention. Hey, what's up, Warren? Goes, how you doing? My favorite Jak and Daxter game? I'll be honest, I was never really a big Jak and Daxter person. I was more of a Ratchet and Clank person. I think the only Jak and Daxter game I ever played was like probably the first one. And I never beat that game. I think I played through maybe like the first chapter or two, and then I stopped playing it. But yeah, I was definitely a much bigger Ratchet and Clank fan than a Jak and Daxter fan. Favorite Ratchet and Clank game? Ooh. Ooh. This is tough. I I gotta go. Hang on, let's see if I can find it. Hang on, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Be right back. I'll go. I gotta go get it. What? You're fine. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I would say this is my favorite Ratchet and Clank game. I absolutely love this game. I think I might. Dude. Yeah, but yeah, definitely this one, which is technically the remake of the original, which I absolutely loved. And then it's followed closely by a Crank in Time. Crank in Time would be like my second favorite, and then the most recent one would be like the third. Which from that game, I would love to see a Rivet game, a spinoff. I would love to see that. I think that would work perfectly. You probably already answered this, but what is my most anticipated game of this year, minus Spider-Man 2? Oh, oh, maybe believe it or not, it might be Final Fantasy 16. I mean, when I think of Spider-Man 2, like that's like I'm trying to figure out how they're gonna handle the whole Miles and Peter thing because I'm pretty sure you're gonna be able to play us both. But like, what do you call Miles? I mean, that was always an issue with I had with Miles is what do you call Miles? Like, you can't call them both Spider-Man. There's only one Spider-Man, and then there's like different versions of Spider-Man that have like little nicknames. So if they're both in the game, what do you call, like, if I say, hey, someone calls Spider-Man, who are we calling? Are we calling Peter Parker or are we calling Miles? I think they need to eventually clear that up because that's going to get kind of confusing. They need to give Miles his own name. But yeah, I would say my most anticipated game right now is probably Final Fantasy 16, followed closely by Jedi Survivor. Because the first one was just absolutely incredible. And if Final Fantasy 16, which from just gameplay, from what I've seen, is pretty much gameplay wise is going to be like just like Devil May Cry. So imagine a Final Fantasy Devil May Cry game, which sounds awesome. So I would say that's probably at right now my most anticipated game, and I've already pre-ordered both of those. Let's see, my favorite God of War villain, probably Zeus. Probably Zeus. Would you agree that they'll probably make a new character for Devil May Cry 6? I don't think they'll make a new character. I don't really think they need to. I mean, why would you make a new character like you mean like new characters for the game? Yeah, but like a new playable character? I don't think so. I think we need to just focus on Nero because we've never had that for Nero. Like every time Nero's been in a game, he's always had to share the spotlight with someone else. In Devil May Cry 4, he was sharing it with Dante. In 5, he was sharing it with Dante and V. So I think having a Devil May Cry game focused just on his character is what we need. Venom's been announced for Insomniac 2, but the other villain who you think will be maybe Craven. I would imagine they'll use villains that we didn't get to see in the first game. So a Craven, maybe Morbius. Yeah. Who are my Mortal Kombat mains? Oof. My top three characters I like to stick with. I like to stick with Scorpion, obviously, Kung Lao, and I think Jade. I did a video going over like my top fave characters, but like if I'm sticking with like the main three characters that have been in like the most Mortal Kombat games. So it would be Scorpion, Kung Lao, and Jade. But I really like Takeda. But we haven't seen him since Mortal Kombat 10. So I was kind of saddened that he wasn't in 11, but hopefully he'll pop up again in 12. Here's a Spawn. Spawn was pretty cool. I didn't get a chance to play as him, but he looked pretty cool. Oh God, James. Um, I did. I'm already not going to see this film because I find it offensive. But like, I just saw the trailer just to confirm that it was going to be as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, I'm like, I'm so done with these remakes and these live action remakes. I'm just done. You know what? I was thinking about doing a video, going over the top five classic Disney films that I think Disney is gonna ruin with a live action version, because every single live action version that they've done has been awful. Like, it's been awful. They have not made a single live action classic Disney film that I thought was even tolerable or I thought was okay. Outside of maybe The Jungle Book, but even that's a stretch. Like Aladdin, hated that. Lion King, hated that. Cinderella, hated that. What else did they try? What else are they screwing up? Peter Pan, that looks awful. The Little Mermaid is offensive. Like, oh my god. Like, what is wrong? Like, there's a reason I find redheads the most attractive type of woman on this planet. It all started with Ariel. So the fact that you want to make her black is, as a black person, I am offended. Like, just Disney just will not learn. They make the same mistake over. I bet you anything. I told my brother, they're going to make a live action version of Toy Story eventually, and everybody knows that. And it's just like, why are you even doing that? I mean, you're dumb enough to try to make a Toy Story 5 after I hated the fourth one in the first 10 minutes. I was like, why are we even doing this? And then like a Frozen 3, I couldn't even get through the first Frozen. I turned that shit off like in 10 minutes. I was like, oh no, like Frozen ain't gonna work with me. It is not for me. I see where this is going. Thoughts on the gameplay for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? Didn't I think the gameplay's okay. But I'm not sure if I'll play that. But didn't that get delayed again? What's my favorite open world game? My favorite is Days Gone, Horizon Games, and Death Stranding. Ooh, that's a good combination. Mine would be Horizon. I think the second one. I think the second one was awesome. Another one would be Infamous 2. I really loved exploring that game. Uh, um, yeah, just to name a few. Last question for me: best anime girl. Hmm. Probably best anime girl. Probably Mikasa from Attack on Titan. I would say probably. Um, they made a horror movie for Winnie the Pooh. I saw that. I saw that, but I haven't gone around to see that. Is it any good? You'll probably be better off watching the Lion Guard than the Lion remake. Yeah, they delayed it again because of the amount of backlash the game was getting. Really? I didn't. What was the What was the backlash on? I mean, I saw the gameplay. I was just like, eh. Really? What was the backlash on it? Because I mean, I saw the gameplay, but thoughts on the Resident Evil remake? I'm probably gonna skip it. Oh, really? I didn't hear that. Oh, that is a horrible decision. Ooh, no wonder. I would be pissed off too. You can't play the game unless you have an internet connection. Ooh, that never works out. I mean, the only game that I can think of where like you might get away with that is maybe Destiny, and I'm not even sure if people are playing that anymore. But they have like that's like a 10-year thing. So like, I'm not sure how old the older game is, but I think that's the only game I've ever played where like you need to be online all the time to play that game. Ooh, that is a horrible decision. As for Toy Story, no, I don't think Pixar is going to allow them. I don't think it's up to Pixar. It's up to Disney. If Disney wants to make if they want to make a live action version of Toy Story, there's nothing Pixar can do. I mean, just like a lot of people think I'm crazy for saying this, but they're gonna do it. They're gonna make a remake of the original Star Wars films. I guarantee that. Like, everyone thinks I'm crazy for saying that, but I guarantee you they are going to remake the original Star Wars and do it their own way. Like, I mean, screw continuity. You guys got anything else? I still got another 26 minutes. Oh, another 30 minutes. Oh, that's good. Fair. Resident Evil is good how it was. That's what I've been saying. Like if anything, if they were gonna remake some Resident Evil games, they should have hit Code Veronica first or Zero. Why didn't they do those? Or heck, even remake the first one in the over-the-shoulder style first. Because it makes me question, like, how far are these remakes going to go? Like, are they going to remake 5? Are they going to remake 6? Are they going to remake 7? Are they going to remake 8 eventually? I'm like, when does it stop? If there's any Pixar film I would like to get a sequel, what would it be? The only Pixar movie I can think of right now that I would like to see a sequel would probably be A Bug's Life. But I don't want them to do it now because I just don't. I think it's too late. I do not trust any movie that current Disney makes because of how, like, they're gonna introduce all these elements that have like nothing to do with the story and just make it horrible. I'm trying to think, like, I can't even remember the last Disney movie I saw in theaters I actually enjoyed seeing. Like, it's been that long. But if I had picked a Disney movie, it would probably be A Bug's Life. But I wouldn't have done with like The Incredibles did, where they waited so long to make one. Like if they were gonna do a sequel to A Bug's Life, it had to have come out a long time ago. At first, I was only going to get this game so I can experience Kevin Conroy's last performance. Yeah, that was my reason for that I was going to get this game at first. But after watching the gameplay and hearing that you need an internet connection, I'm thinking about passing. They need to fix that. Like, the gameplay did not impress me all that much, but I was really going to play this game just for Kevin. But if you're telling me now that you need an internet connection, like, that's an instant, like, triple strikes. Like, I'll just replay the Arkham games again. If I play the Resident Evil remake, the original would still be my childhood favorite. Like, yeah, like Marcus, that's how I feel about it. Like, I played the demo, and I didn't really have fun with it. And then I just went back and started playing the original, that exact same section, and I had a lot more fun. I was just like, yeah. I remember a poll you made. Oh, okay. Okay, okay. Okay, yes, Broken Limit. Okay, okay, I'll give you a quick explanation. Like, that would be like a whole 20 to 30 minute video. I'll tell you what's wrong. Okay, here's the problem I have with the so-called remake. I hated the story. Like, if you're gonna do a remake, they should have done it like Dead Space. Like, Dead Space is like the best example of doing a proper remake perfectly. But that's not what Square did. They remade that game so badly that it's almost unrecognizable. I hated the voice acting in that game. I couldn't even recognize the characters in terms of their personality. Like, they were so different. They started to focus on characters who were never important, and then they had the nerve to add this alternate time element that was never introduced, which makes Sephiroth a complete fucking idiot now. And he's not even threatening, and he gets his ass kicked, and then they have the balls to split it up like right at the end of the Shinra of the rescue mission, which was stupid because it's like, let me get this straight. You took a 6-hour section in the original game and decided to stretch it like to 20, 30 hours. I mean, and they're doing this to split it up into multiple games so that they can make the most money about it. I'm like, that is such a dirty practice. Like, that's why I don't ever want them to remake 10 or ever remake 8. It's like, it's so and then they have the balls to do the dumbest thing ever and change the history and have Zack live at the end. I was just like, did you guys even play the fucking game? It's like, you realize that by doing that, you have completely erased the entire timeline of Final Fantasy VII. Like, it's gone now. And I'm like, I'm the only one who's angry about this. I was just like, I mean, their whole reasoning is, well, we kind of want to make something that older fans can appreciate, but like, if you've never played the original game, you'll be surprised. It's like, I don't need that. I just got through Dead Space, and I knew point for point what was going to happen, where enemies were going to come, how to kill enemies, how to use weapons. There was not a single thing in that game that surprised me. I knew it was a perfect, almost copy and paste job in some sections. There were enemies where you knew exactly where they were going to come, what they're going to pop up from. And though it didn't have a scare factor, it was so much more fun to play. That is how I want my remakes done. Not this stuff. If you're going to make this much of an alternate change, just make a new game. Now, that's just the quick version of my problems with that and why I'll never play that game. And it's so polarizing that Final Fantasy has like 4 of the most like standout games. I have like Final Fantasy VII, which is the single most important game that I will ever play in my life. Because if I didn't play that game, I wouldn't even fall in love with JRPGs. Even if that never had happened, I wouldn't have fallen in love with PlayStation. And if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't be a gamer right now. I'd be playing games on Xbox, maybe. And then I have like my favorite JRPG game of all time in Final Fantasy X. And then I have the worst video game I've ever played in my life, which is Final Fantasy 13. And then the worst video game I will never play in the remake of 7. And if I ever played the remake of 7, it would dethrone Final Fantasy 13. And I can't imagine a world where my most important video game that I've ever played is linked directly to the worst video game I've ever played. I can't imagine a world like that, which is why I refuse to ever touch that game. I refuse to touch that because it's going to immediately dethrone 13. And heck, 13, I have like personal issues with that game. Like personal issues that I'm still pissed off about. But I'm sorry. Sorry for the rant there. Boda, what is my favorite Martin Scorsese film? I'm really not sure. I'm not sure. Hi everyone. I'm going to play the original Final Fantasy VII and not the remake of 7. Yes, good Judas. Yes. Where the heck is it? There's 8. Oh, it's somewhere around here. Yes. Yes, do that. Stick with the original. The original is just fine the way it is. Even though that game is like over 20 years old, I still love it. I've been wanting to get into Final Fantasy. Which game would you recommend I start off with first? Um. Okay. Well, Vengeance, you have to give me what systems that you have. I think it depends. Like, there's certain games I would recommend, but if you don't have a way to play them, then I can't recommend them. So you need to tell me like what systems you have it on, and I might be able to give you like a recommendation. I don't just don't remake the Final Fantasy franchise. Period. I agree. I agree. I don't think they need to be remade. Like, as much as I would love like a remake of 6, like, it doesn't need to happen. It doesn't need to happen. The game is just fine the way it is. Didn't you also say that Zack came back to life? Yes, yes, they didn't kill him. They didn't kill him. They had him survive. And I was like, wait a minute. If Zack is alive, the entire timeline of Final Fantasy is just got erased. I mean, Zack dying is like the key moment of Cloud's development, because it is because of Zack's death that Cloud even does anything he does in Final Fantasy VII. And like him overcoming that is like the key character moment of his character in the entire franchise. And they took that away from him. And that pissed me off. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Oh my god. That's okay, Broken. You asked and I answered. PlayStation 5, okay, well, let's see. If you got PlayStation 5, you got access to the network. I would start off with 7. Original 7. If not that, if you had like if you had access to some of the SNES games, I would recommend starting off with Final Fantasy 6. But another one I think you could start off with is, a lot of people like to crap on 8, but they released like a remastered version of 8 on PlayStation 4 that you should be access to. So the ones I would recommend you start off with, if it's either, if you can, try 6, 7, or 8. One of those 3 would be the first one I would recommend, and then you can move on from there. Like, pick one of those as a starting point, and then whether you want to play the older games or some of the newer games, that's your own path. Everyone is going to have their own path for Final Fantasy. It's going to be different. I started off with 7, then I played 8, then I went back to 3, played 4, then 5, then 6, then 10, then 10-2, then 12, went back to like tactics, and yeah, everyone's journey throughout the series is going to be different. I only played the remake. I couldn't understand why people disliked it. St. Patrick's Day is a few days away. Have I seen any Leprechaun? Have I seen any of the Leprechaun movies? Yes, but I haven't seen them in a very long time. But I do remember seeing that. Like I said, having Zack survive would have been like, yes! Thank you, Marcus. I've been saying that for years. It's like, that is like, having Zack survive would be the same thing as that happened. Like, if Mufasa survives, I'm like, the second half of the Lion King movie is completely different. Like, having certain characters die is important. It would be like having Qui-Gon Jinn survive the Phantom Menace. Like, do you have any idea the ramifications that would have throughout the franchise? Like, Star Wars as you know it would not exist if he survives. Like, that's how serious that is. The first Final Fantasy game I ever played was 7, not the remake. That same here. I grew up on the PlayStation 2 era. Thank God that for fighting games, Def Jam Vendetta, Tekken 4. Okay, yeah, that was a good era for fighting games. You know, like I had like Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. I think that was the first game I played. Dead or Alive, hardcore. Fighting games are awesome. It's not like oh, oh. Oh, Saving Private Ryan or Black Hawk Down? Ooh, that's. I'll be honest. Believe it or not, I'd actually go with Black Hawk Down. I tend to watch that a lot more than Saving Private Ryan. But I think they're both great films. But yeah, I lean a little bit more towards. My favorite weapon from the Devil May Cry franchise? Oh, that's easy. You're back. This little beauty. I bet you know who this is. This is my favorite weapon from Devil May Cry. Am I excited to see Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer? Yeah, I am. It's not high on my list, but I expect it to be interesting as always. Christopher Nolan is my favorite director. But I would say this is probably one of his projects that I'm going with the least expectations, but like he might blow me away. Like, believe it or not, there was a time where I went into The Dark Knight thinking it wasn't going to be very good. Believe it or not, when I went to college, I saw I went into I was one of those Heath Ledger haters. I was just like, what? That guy who just played that gay cowboy in Brokeback Mountain? How the hell you go from gay cowboy to the Joker? This movie's gonna blow. And I had probably one of the top three greatest movie experiences of my life seeing that film. After that, I never questioned him. I never questioned him again. And he also made my favorite movie of all time. The next film he made is still my favorite film of all time. So yeah, maybe if I go in with like average expectations, like no one will surprise me again, because I went into Interstellar with high expectations, and I was loving that movie up until the ending. Like, I think if that film had ended like 20 minutes sooner, it would have been perfect. I wasn't. I have the motto that I made myself. Oh, that's awesome that you can make your own weapons. I actually have the infamous 2 amp that I made with my dad. I still got to it's fine, but I'd like to kind of improve it a little bit one day if I get around to it. Here's a good question. Who's my favorite guest character in a fighting game? Definitely Kratos from Mortal Kombat 9. I thought he fit perfectly into that game. Perfectly. Hey, what's up, Rick? Guilty, how you doing? Keep your expectations low and you won't be disappointed. True. That's a good saying to go by. Alright, we got a good 13 minutes left. Speaking of Devil May Cry, what do you expect to see? Oh, I think I answered this. Yeah, I think I just expect to focus more on Nero, like exclusively him. I don't see a reason to bring Dante or Virgil back, but heck, I would prefer to see a prequel game following Sparta before a Devil May Cry 6 game, but I know it's going to come. But I would just have it focus on Nero. That's like the only thing I expect from it, because that's the one thing that we haven't had from him yet. You guys got anything else? What's my opinion on the Blitz game? I never actually played those games. Oh no, it's cool, Void. I never played those games. I don't. That's one thing I don't play. I don't play sports games. I don't play games based on games. Like, if I want to play football, I just need to find a couple of guys. We go out to a big field and we'll play football. If I want to play soccer, we'll play soccer. We want to play basketball. There's a park with a court. It's just I can't find enough people to play with. That's the issue. My Yamato is made of pipe cleans and color poster boards. Heck, man. Heck, everyone's got to start someplace. I think it'd be cool. I think it's pretty cool when you can craft your own weapons. I think that shows that you're pretty good with your hands. I don't know why I don't want a Devil May Cry 6 to me. It ended perfectly. No. I think it ended perfectly fine with Dante and Virgil. I think the game ended perfectly for them. Yeah, I don't think we need to see them again. I think their story in the franchise is over. Like that whole rivalry came to a good end. It's over. So there's really no need to bring them back. But I definitely think that there's potential for Nero to carry it on, which is how I feel some franchises should go. Like if you're gonna keep franchises going, it's always best to retire older characters and then bring in new ones. Which is why I really think like a lost opportunity was when they killed off Pierce in the end of Resident Evil 6. Like even though like the Chris campaign was like my least favorite, one of my favorite moments in there was like near the end where like Chris was like saying that he wanted to retire and he wanted Pierce to take over. I was like, that's how you do it. Like if these games keep going, retire these older characters and let these newer characters take over. Like that's how you do it. Which is why I'm real puzzled what they're gonna do with Jill. Like I've seen that Jill is gonna show up in the next CGI movie, but they have her dressing like she was in the remake of 3, which is weird because like, hang on, like when the hell does while you guys are here, let me do some research. What is it? Let's see, Resident Evil, Death Island. I'm curious about that timeline. Like when does that take place? According to Capcom, the film takes place in the year 2015. This places the film after the event. Okay, so this new film takes place in 2015, and that's 2 years after the events of 6 and after Vendetta, but before the events of Resident Evil 7. Okay, if that's the case, I'm curious. I'm trying to figure out how old she's going to be. Like, I was like, shouldn't Jill be almost in her 50s? Because I know Chris is in his 50s in the latest game. Okay, hang on. I got to do a little bit of math right now. Okay, so Jill... Oh, wait a second. I got my phone right here. Okay, so Jill was born... Where the hell is it? Oh, there it is. So this game takes place in 2015, and she was born in 1974. Really? Okay. According to my math here, Jill is gonna be 41 in this new film that we're seeing her, and they have her dressed the exact same way she was in the remake of 3, which I think is weird. So Jill's gonna be 41, which that's you could still be pretty combat ready. I figured she'd be older, but okay. Okay, I missed like a lot of questions, so let me back things up. My favorite. Who's my favorite animated movie besides Disney or anime? My favorite animated movie? Prince of Egypt. Not a lot of people talk about that film, but they should. Amazing film. What's my opinion on the Rage game from 2011 and The Darkness? I never played Rage, and I think I only played The Darkness 2 once, but that was a long time ago, so I don't really remember it very well. If I could choose one of these two games that deserves a sequel, which would I pick? Days Gone or Ghost Tsushima? Well, Boda, you don't have to worry about Ghost Tsushima. We already know that's going to get a sequel, but I think Days Gone also deserves a sequel. But trust me, Ghost Tsushima will get a sequel. That's almost a foregone conclusion. We're good there, so you don't have to worry about that. I mean, I would like to show you the picture, but it's currently with my mom's friend. Okay. Well, you can always send it to my Twitter or Facebook or, just any way you can, but it's all right. Whenever you get a chance. Speaking of Devil May Cry, what are you hoping for the Devil May Cry anime that's making we know is taking place during the Devil May Cry 3 manga? Really? If that's the case, I would just hope to see more Virgil. That's because he's my favorite character. Excellent news to share. I got a Blu-ray movie recently. Really? It was 310 to Zuma, starring Christian Bale and Russell Crowe. Great cowboy film. Great film. Do I have a Discord? Yes, but I don't really use it because I don't know anyone else who uses their Discord also. So it was just kind of one of those things that I just made one because other people I knew had one, but like they didn't really use it. I think I've used that maybe once, and then I never went back and used it again. But like I know, like everyone I know has a Discord, but they don't really use it. So I don't really use it. I wish PlayStation would bring back Killzone. Personally, I would prefer they bring back Resistance, or they just make a new first-person shooter franchise, because that's something we need. I think PlayStation just needs to get another first-person shooter franchise, and if you can't bring back Killzone or Resistance, then make something else. What's my favorite film that stars Robert De Niro? Maybe Casino, because it's Vegas based, and my dad had like a similar, my dad didn't have a similar job to him, but my dad worked in a casino and he was like pretty high up in the company, so yeah, probably Casino. If Final Fantasy Advent Children was turned into a video game, would you consider playing it? No, you could not turn that game into a. You could not turn that game into a. You couldn't turn that. You couldn't turn that into a game. Maybe a DLC, maybe, but not a full size game. Absolutely not. There is not enough content. Not anywhere close. PlayStation is lacking a multiplayer games. I agree, because I think it used to be better in the past, but there's a heavy focus on single player story games, and that's always been what they're strong at. They're like, I've always believed that like Microsoft is better at multiplayer games, and like Sony is more of the solo individual campaign story driven games. But those are the games that typically get like more recognition. It's like more people will play multiplayer games and spend more time, but like those solo games typically end up getting higher recognition. Like if you like hang on, let me look up something. I think, let's see. Yeah, like when you look at like all the games that have won like Game of the Year, like most of them are like single player. It's like sometimes they're story driven. So you have like, what? That can't be right. What the hell? Hades won Game of the Year in 2020? What? I don't. That. Oh, whoa, no. Sorry, looking at the wrong thing. Whoa, that didn't make any sense. I was like, whoa, I am so sorry. Oh, I am so sorry. Okay, yeah. Yeah. If you look at like all like the game awards, they're typically story driven. So you have Elden Ring in 2022, It Takes Two in 2021, The Last of Us. I don't know how the hell that happened. In 2020, Sekiro in 2019, God of War in 2018, The Legend of Zelda in 2017, Overwatch, and like, I guess that's a multiplayer game, but that one in 2016, The Witcher 3 was 2015, Dragon Age Inquisition was 2014. So it's typically story-driven games that typically end up getting the most recognition. Rain932 has a Discord. I love your Versus series. It's amazing, Brian. Can't wait for more. I don't do those anymore. I stopped doing those like over a year and a half ago. Do you think Terra from Final Fantasy VI is the best protagonist in the franchise? I don't think she's the best protagonist, but she's definitely one of my top 5 favorites. I think, absolutely, I think Terra. I would say Terra's my favorite female Final Fantasy character of all time. No question. Am I more of a multiplayer or solo guy? I'm definitely more of a solo story-driven gamer. Absolutely. What would you say is the best food item to order at Panda Express? Orange chicken. I just had some yesterday, and I was thinking about getting some today. Game Awards just suck. It's like any other awards to me. Yeah, I mean that's understandable. I mean, some games that I don't think all awards suck. There definitely been some years where I think the right game did get it, and but personally, here's where I stand with awards. I think you don't need I don't think you need an award to get recognition. Like you don't if you're good at your job, you don't need some piece of metal to tell you that you're either good at your job or that your game is great. There's a lot of games that get snubbed that it doesn't need an award for me to know that it's a great game. It's the gamers that decide that, not some committee. It's rigged. What do you expect? Dude, anything that involves billions of dollars is gonna get rigged in some sense, but I don't think it's just for show. I don't take it too seriously. I think there was only like one awards where I was surprised about. I was just like, what? That one? I'm like, I've never even heard of that. Tifa is my favorite Final Fantasy in the franchise. Understandable. She's my number 2. And I have like 2 posters. I have like 2 scrolls of her in my room. So, yeah. The only reason I don't have Terra up there is because I just think that Tifa kicks a little bit more ass because she uses her fists. She doesn't need a weapon. Oh, I love Tifa. Actually. Here she is. You like Aerith more? No, that's fine. I would play the Resident Evil 4 remake, but it's barely going to hold a candle to my childhood game. Do you think that Dark Souls is overhyped? I've never played... I think I've only played Dark Souls once for like an hour and I quit. I'm late to the party. Okay, well, I gotta cut it here. I gotta try to think of something to film or something to do. Because I'm trying to get content up, but I'm not sure what. Like, literally, like, this whole morning, I literally just, like... I was just playing random games just to come up with an idea for a video. Like, I put, like, a request for something, and I got no takers. So I'm like, that's where I'm at right now. It's just trying to come up with ideas for videos that people will watch. Because it's very frustrating to me, the idea that how the hell does a channel that has over 80,000 subscribers struggle to get 100 views a video. There's something wrong here. There's something very, very wrong, and I need to fix it. I need to find some way to fix this issue. It's like the algorithm is like blocking me for some reason. I gotta punch through, and I've been dealing with this issue for like the last 6 years. Like it's almost frustrating. It almost makes me want to quit YouTube, but I feel like I'm like a few steps away from hitting that 100K goal. And then once I've done that, I'll have, like, achieved my main goal. But this was fun. We'll definitely be doing this next week. Same time, next Wednesday. Wait, no. Wait. We will do a stream next Wednesday, but it's probably going to be at 1. It's going to be 1 to 2 instead of 2 o'clock. But again, thanks guys for watching. You guys are awesome. I'll catch you all guys next week. Remember, if you have any ideas for videos, please let me know in the community or just send it to me a message on Twitch or any way you can so I can get them out, because I really want to upload more content, but I just need to get more ideas. And thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I'll catch you all guys next time.